Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at two new entries into the Ultra Action figure line. On the left we have Ultraman Z Gamma Future, and on the right we have Ultraman Geed Galaxy Rising. So if you've been watching my videos, you probably know I'm a huge fan of this line. I think they do a really nice job for the price point. So I'm very happy to have two new entries into the line here. They've been really consistent with all of Zet's forms, which I really appreciate because I feel like Taiga didn't really get the same treatment. And obviously a new form for Jeet here is awesome to get the action figure treatment. I have the vinyls for these as well, but they do a really nice job with these figures, so I was really happy to get these as well. As you can see, very nicely painted here on the front. I'm not sure if the backs will be painted. It's kind of like the vinyls in that respect, but we'll get them out of the packaging here and we'll take a closer look. So here are the two figures out of the packaging. I think they did a pretty good job with these. We'll look at Gamma Future first. You can see what I mean about kind of the same effect as the vinyls, where there's just that as soon as you hit the midway point, the paint just dries up. Now they did paint the whole like forearm gauntlet, which I do appreciate. And everything else, it's not that big a deal if you're just looking at it from the front. I mean, of course they paint the whole head as well, but it does just kind of stop. I mean, it would be nice if they, maybe just did up here. I would even pay a couple, dollars more if it got us a little bit more paint. But for the most part, I think they do a good job of painting it, but still keeping costs down, so it makes sense. Now with these, you have pretty standard articulation. Heads can swivel from side to side. I don't really think there's much back and forth. You can see there's maybe a little bit of play there, but I don't know if that's intentional or not. You have a standard hinge and swivel at the shoulder, but of course because of the... what would you call that, vest, I guess, shoulder pads, whatever you want to say, it's a little hindered. You do have a bicep swivel, you have 90 degrees at the elbow, you have a wrist swivel, and then you have two sets of fingers, kind of like the way the old Rider figures used to be. Nothing in the abdomen or waist. You do have hips that can kick forward, out to the side, not really anything going back. No thigh cut. You do have 90 degrees in the knee, and then you have a ball joint in the ankle. So pretty standard for this line. That's what we usually get. But he looks good. The metallic paint, all very sharp. I like the look of it quite a bit. Now with Gamma Future, because they did him in the action figure line, I'm going to need Gaia, Dinah, and Tiga so that we can recreate that scene where he summons the other three in this form. So they need to get on that and make those three in the action figure line as well. Very, very cool. But yeah, I think ultimately, I think he looks great. I'm very happy they're doing all of Zet's forms. He looks pretty good. Now, I will say, I do think that Galaxy Rising Geed looks a little better. I like this form. It's a little beefier, but I like it a lot. Now, again, he doesn't really have any paint on the back, but his shoulder pads did get the full paint on both sides, which I appreciate. And speaking of his shoulder pads, you can still get full range of motion, for the most part, with those shoulder pads. I thought for sure I was going to stop right there. Nope. All the way in. That's nice. I appreciate that. They recessed that so that the shoulder pads didn't get in the way of that hinge. So, of course, it has the hinge. It has the swivel. I mean, he's really got all the same articulation that Gamma Future does. Head definitely only side to side. He's got, like, no up and down whatsoever. But he looks good. A lot of nice metallic paint here. The red's really sharp. The silver, the blue, the gold. I love his eyes. Always been a big fan of Jeed's design there. So yeah, this is a great figure. I definitely recommend both of these. If you could only pick one, I think Galaxy Rising is probably a little better. But I think they're both excellent entries into the line, and I definitely recommend both of them. I think the nice thing about these is they're usually not too expensive. Usually somewhere between 15 and 20 before shipping, if I'm remembering correctly. And I feel like for what you get, that price is pretty fair. You get a nice balance of paint and articulation at like a $15 to $20 price point for a figure. I would say they're probably about 5.5 inches tall or so. Let's see, here is a Masters of the Universe Origins Beastman for size comparison. I would say they're pretty much about the same size. Yeah, pretty much about the same size. So they're about 5.5 inches tall, which I think is a good size for these. I think it's pretty fair. Probably puts them a little bit taller than like RKF figures, but not quite as tall as your average, Star Wars Black Series, something like that. So They're just nice, detailed, articulated Ultraman figures, and I've been a big fan of them since they came out. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.